Have you ever been victimized by New Age spirituality?
We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting.
You're gonna want to listen up.
I'm Megan, an intuitive life coach and Reiki master.
I'm Ryan, a professional astrologer, and we want to show you what spirituality is by talking about what it is not.
Con artist.
Yes.
Snake oil salesman.
There are so many susceptible people out there.
And then they're tainted. They're ruined. They don't want to come back to spirituality.
We still have a lot to learn, and we will humble ourselves and learn, I think, every freaking day. This is Clairvoyance,
a podcast of spiritual interference. Well, it has been a while. I feel like it's been a while since we hopped on here because it has been a while. I've missed you.
I know, I missed you.
I mean, much. we both had some wild, crazy times since our last meeting. I mean, you went on a little vacation.
Yeah.
You were out at sea, bonding with Mother Nature. Mother Nature said, no work for you. We are disconnected to the internet. You connect with me, the water element. I will take no prisoners. You will do what I say. Yeah. That did make me laugh. I was like, oh, I hope he's got a book.
Dude, no, I did. Yeah. No, weirdly, I had like a couple books. Thank God. Like I actually got some like really good reading in. But yeah, the boat was, I went on a cruise.
You need vacation. I don't know. Cause I can't count when you came to Charleston as a vacation because you were working feet. Yeah. You know, so like to be able to like forcefully disconnect. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Well, and it was like, but it was weird because it was like I kept trying to make it work, you know? And like I'd set things up like, I don't know, I'd never been on a cruise ship before, and I don't even know if this is normal, but it wasn't even until like a couple days into it that I realized like when you're in your room, you put the key in the wall to like turn on the lights and shit. And so then you take your key when you leave your room, and that shuts off all the power. So I would have like my laptop sitting there and like waiting for like an episode to load or something. And then like when I came back, it was like my computer was dead. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like this is, so that took me a couple days to figure out. And then we couldn't really get internet until we were like in a port city, which at that point was really just like your phone.
You're only there for a little bit anyway. Yeah.
Oh, it was torture. It really was. It was like stressful. But they did reimburse some people, I think, for the lack of internet. So whatever. That's just like, it's just like, how do you not have Wi-Fi on your fucking cruise? Like, I mean, they did, but oh my God, the guy that was working at the little cybersecurity center too was like so fucking stressed because there was like a mile long line, like every freaking day, and it's one dude just sitting there. Like it was so bad.
Poor guy.
Yeah, but otherwise it was good. It was good. I went to Mexico, for anybody who doesn't know, with my mom, who I hadn't seen in like a while, and my little brother, who I see often because he lives here. But it was fun. It was a good time. Yeah, that was a good time. I don't really have any other updates on that, really. It was a nice, thank you, Mom and Leo, because I know you're both listening. It was very, very good time. I enjoyed myself, I promise. As much as I was stressed about the fucking internet, I enjoyed myself, you know.
Yeah, you take your work seriously. There's no.
I do, man.
Do you ever relax? Like, when's the last time you truly relaxed, like disconnected? If I was like, yo, I'm gonna give you $1 million, but you can't have internet for like a year.
No. I would do it. Like, I didn't plan. Like, there was internet on the boat. You know what I mean? So like the whole plan was to bring my shit. And like, I was so excited. Honestly, I was like really excited to work not here, you know, like just to be out of this vicinity. I was like, I'm going to be inspired and blah, blah, blah. And then it was just like annoying.
Plot twist.
Yeah, it was okay though. It was fine. It was fine. They had a little like LGBTQ meetup like every night at like 7 p.m. on the boat. And so Leo and I met like 3 dudes. Yeah, it was fun. It was a throuple. They were really fun. They live in Northern California. So maybe we'll see them again at some point in life. I don't know. Drank a lot of Prosecco. Like I'm a whiskey bitch, but like I only did whiskey the first couple days, and then I moved to Prosecco. This is the most random conversation. Sorry, you guys. Megan and I have not caught up literally whatsoever in like a month.
In like a month.
Something.
Yes.
Dead
in a
serious.
month.
So,
yes.
That's that. I mean, like, there's so much else that I want to say, but let's like ping pong.
Well, so, the past few months have been really difficult. Like as far as just that via combusta.
Dude, yeah.
That was
I'm glad we're out of that now, though. Not gonna lie, but that was fucking rough. That was
my God. Rough. Yeah. So,
I didn't expect it to be so bad, and it was bad for everybody, like truly everybody.
I don't know, like it's so wild to me to when you see collectively some things go on, but like people are struggling. I mean, I was late on the call right now because I was on the phone with a friend and then a client where they were just like, and these are I mean, I'm so glad that people are I'm the person that they reach out to, but it's like in tears. What do I do? I'm in pain. I mean, people are really there. If you're struggling, just take a deep breath, man. Like in through the nose, out through the mouth. Like let's one step at a time, because there is just so much pain. And then people are like, when is it going to end? And it's like, it's not like, it's not ending. Like we got to get tougher. You got to deal with whatever's coming in with you. And I was being very unreasonable in certain aspects of my life and saying things, and also like truly like what I was expecting out of people, some people close to me, and saying it with my full chest, like nips out, like you will, like, and I didn't even, what's crazy is that like, I didn't even recognize like how I was coming across. Usually I like, know something had a it was so like, crazy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until someone was like, called me a hypocrite.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, fuck, like, and I was ready to like, fuck you, motherfucker. Like, and then I took a step because I was like, first of all, for this person to call me a hypocrite, let me take a step back, because what is happening for that person to use this language towards me? Because that's, that is not a noun, that, or an adjective, whatever that I want to be called, and that I don't live my life like that. So if you are saying this, when people that you love are saying you need to simmer down. So I was like, let me take a step back. And then I started to like reflect on conversations that I was having, and I just got so wound up and my feelings were hurt. And so the nightmare thing about me is that when my feelings are hurt, like I have to feel safe with you to tell you that, right? Like, but that's not, it's my job to take care of it. Well, I didn't feel safe in a lot of scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't, like, so what happens, like I get aggressive. If I have anxiety, I don't have the anxiety I'm rocking in the corner. I'm aggressive. I'm an intense, passionate, aggressive person when we're, off. So I was just like, and like, it was like, take it or leave it, full chest. This is what I'm doing. I'm telling friends of mine, I'm talking to people like they need to marry me. Friends, like, I'm like, I am a commitment. Our friendship is a commitment. Oh, what are you talking about, psycho? Like people were showing up for me, but not in the way I wanted to. Did I communicate that? No. So here's the thing: uncommunicated expectations. I was setting up people for tests. They didn't even know. Of course, you're going to fail the fucking tests, and then I'm not even taking into consideration what you're going through, because I'm so deluded in my life. So like, express what you need to people, and also know that they might not be able to give it to you, because people are very depressed right now. They're very sad. Addiction is skyrocketing. I mean, I'm getting more people into AA right now, like, because I'm like, listen, you can't afford rehab. This is the only option that we have, like but I was completely not reasonable in my personal life. And so I apologize to anyone that I was insane with, because just calling me a hypocrite, though, I mean, I nearly knocked their fucking socks off. But then I was like, wait. And then I started to like look back, and I was like, oh my God, Megan. So then I had to go on an apology tour. I'm like, hey, listen, imagine saying to your, like, I am a commitment. So anyway, you have expectations must be communicated. And then that's a standard. Okay. So then you have a standard to which you communicated that. And so it's not this like this rigidity that happens when I get stressed or when I don't feel seen, heard, or validated. Because honestly, I'm a love bug. I just want to like curl up and I want to be told that I'm the prettiest little thing you've ever seen. And like, I'm a human golden retriever that will turn into a vicious motherfucker if I don't feel safe, So yeah, I was a terror. 10 totally.
Damn.
So I'm having to like say sorry to like so many of my girlfriends, so many people, so many of my guy friends, but Josh, I mean, like, oh, sorry, everyone.
That is interesting though, because I mean, like Scorpio, which is like half of that via combusta, is your 11th house friends. So that's interesting. That like kind of hot energy. Well, and then the other half would be like 10th house of career, which would be it's the most noticeable part of you. So people are noticing this about you, I guess. Obviously, I didn't, but I don't live near you.
But we weren't really in cahoots this past month. So,
well, I know, yeah, there was like,
like we were
no contact, no,
we were. But I'm literally just, and in my mind, like this is, it's just wild to see how feelings, and I know the power of feelings, but I was letting my feelings hijack just about every single thing and make decisions and create storylines that were not true. And I know better. So that's the thing. It's like I talk about mindset and energy in this all day, every day with my people, with all my clients, with my friends. And so for me to fall so deep down into this rabbit hole in my personal life, I was like, whoa, buddy.
So interesting. Yeah. I mean, and obviously uncharacteristic for you.
110%.
Sure. Yeah.
To be so, like, but it's humbling. I mean, I've been humbled a lot like recently, but it's good. It's good because then it's like, no one's immune to it. No one's immune. Like if like no one's immune. But life is wild out there, man. The streets are, I mean,
no, it's fucking nuts. We got wars all over the place. Like everybody's fucking going crazy. I've been honestly proud because I've been very measured in things. Like I'll like raise hell about a tiny, stupid, dumb little thing, but like in a funny way where it's not real, like I'm making just to do it. But otherwise, I've been pretty like fucking emotionally grounded. And I've been fine. Like shit, like normal situations. I just feel like I think part of it is maybe my like PR background, a lot of like crisis scenarios. I'm quick on my feet. I have so much mutable energy in my chart. So like that is like really good under pressure moments. So like with so much pressure and honestly seeing so many other people fucking like flailing around, it kind of makes me snap into myself a little bit more. So I've been fine. I feel like I'm more like freaking out when there isn't much going on. You know what I mean? Like in the sky. That's when I
always think that healers go through stuff first. But that you brought up an interesting point because we are like there's terrible stuff going on in the world. And the whole reason that we started this podcast, Clear and Lance, is to talk about the bullshit of spirituality. And listen, you cannot love and light what is going on in Israel and Palestine and the Gaza Strip. And the fact that so many of these motherfuckers are on TikTok, like shut your fucking mouth. I can't, like there is no
so many. I'm glad you're seeing that too. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. How dare you? And just I don't understand why people can't understand this concept. You cannot like what the Israeli government has done and still support those citizens. Okay. Can we not support people? Like a terrorist group? Not good. Okay. Controlling government? Not good. Innocent people getting murdered? Not like that's bad. Can we not collectively all agree on this? And you saying like, oh, I don't really want to talk about that. I don't want to. That's a privilege. You're safe behind your little fucking phone. That was, I just want to reach through the screen and mute you. I want to mute you for life. If you don't have something proactive and kind to say, something that's going to make a difference, something that's going to help, then shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like another thing too. Like
it feels like whiplash right now with like the amount of perspectives. And it's like, I never know every time I open fucking TikTok what the public opinion is going to be any given day. Obviously, like it's been like the through thread has been like very like free Palestine, right? But
Mm-hmm.
like, uh, there are so many other like side conversations now happening. And now there's like the whole like, well, I mean, I don't want to say now there's the free Congo movement, but like that's been happening for a long time. And that is way deadlier than anything else happening Israel Palestine related. So like now there's this like faction of people talking about like how we need to be talking about free Congo. And I'm like, well, yeah, fuck yeah, we do. Like
Yeah.
that's exponentially worse than this other one we're raising hell about. So where do I put my fucking focus? Like it's very
Yeah,
hard.
it's selective outrage. It's like,
It
where do
is.
you know, like, and it's also
And it's
okay to get,
performative in many ways too.
oh,
Like I'm sorry, it
100.
just fucking is. Like I'm not gonna say something if I don't feel like I am gonna listen. In many, I've spent so much time listening to people about this stuff, and like I think like allow me to do that. Like give me, I'm not gonna fucking just come out and speak. And like this whole like thing of like how like average users on social media are like demanding like creators that they follow to come out with like a statement. It's like, girl, that creator is like a makeup artist for a living. Why do you need her like opinion on the war? Like okay, like I
Yeah.
get you want to like maybe make sure like there's a value system alignment, but like do not take them to task on this shit. Like do your job and go find a fucking news reporter that you like. Do find somebody who's actually gonna fucking like teach
Or
you
like,
something.
or someone who has actual influence. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
like
like there have been a lot of people who do have actual influence who have, mums the word. And
truth,
so,
truth.
that's that's what's frustrating to me. Like Oprah, come on, girl. Oprah's been just
Mhm.
been she started
Dude,
what I mean,
she's like,
come
no, a
on.
lot of people are like, now we're watching this fall, like Noah Schnapp, that's been a big one lately, like the Stranger Things kid, fucking Amy Schumer. Like, I never really like paid attention to Amy Schumer, but like she's like getting canceled like hard now. Like, there are people that will never come back. She's the biggest female comedian of all time, I think, like most successful or something. She will never come back. She will never have a career again. You know what I mean? But then there's also, I mean, there's so many other issues. Like, I mean, what? It was just in the past like couple days that one. Did you see the
And also, what
letter?
are y'all? What is this is there's all there's always war going on. There's always
Always.
always. There's
That's
never.
the that's the point. The Congo War has been going on forever. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Why it's because, and this is like the privilege of, honest to God, the like Israeli like camp is just that like it is such an American interest. So of course Israel gets attacked, and now it's the fucking only thing that anybody can focus on. Not to say again, like, and it sounds
Yeah.
awful to say that because it makes
No.
it seem like I don't care, and now I'm anti-Semitic. No, obviously
No.
not. No, obviously not. One of my like good friends here is fucking Jewish, and like having when this was really like unfolding, watching him, and like he was in fear, like literally terrified. He was just like
Yeah.
scared, and he's like a older guy, like he's like scared, and I'm like it total his demeanor completely shifted, and he was just scared. And then like I've got a couple of Jewish friends, but then I've got a couple of fucking like Palestinian friends too, who I'm like, damn, like I really didn't understand.
No, I
Just
didn't.
like,
Like I think we all got somewhat of a crash course education. And it's
yeah,
all, like, and then a lot of people are overwhelmed with everything there, understandably,
yeah. Well,
but it's like, don't go around attacking people, Jewish people,
mhm,
like, like Palestinians, like, do not, like,
yeah,
I just don't understand why be like, this is not a time to express your hatred or your prejudice that your bumfuck grandfather taught you for no goddamn reason. Like, if you feel the need, if you, podunk Bill, think you are better than somebody, you're not. You're not, like, and so it's just in these sorts of times, it's the opportunity to do better and to examine your own prejudices, because we all have them that live within ourselves, and
mhm.
to be kind and educate yourself, and when it ggets too much, get off the internet, take a breather.
I
But
know,
it's
but then like people that said that got like fucking like reamed because they're like, no, you must look at this. And I get it. I
I
understand that
don't have to do
perspective
a
too.
goddamn thing. Let
Of
me get
like,
clear about that,
well,
like, You know, neither does, like, you got to be
Yeah.
careful, you know?
Yeah, we can't be sending every human being on Earth into a spiral right now. Like, we're gonna need some fucking sane people at the end of all
And
this
what
to like,
it makes me wonder too, what's going on? Like, what, like, are y'all, what's being hidden as the razzle dazzle is going on over here? Like, what secret meetings are going on? Like, because our world is not.
There's already a lot that's like kind of coming out now about like this shit. No, seriously, like you're dead on. Like I was actually thinking about, I'm glad you brought that up because I haven't had this conversation with anybody. I was thinking this, like, this was like one of my biggest thoughts. Like, I think the first like 2 weeks of this whole like Israel Palestinian conflict, I mean, as of like October 7th was started happening, I was just like, there is no talk of any other news like there, and all politicians are like, look over there, look over there, look over there, look over there. Like, so all I could think was like,
what kind of anti-abortion bullshit are you trying?
Tactics. Like, we know it happens all the time in front of our fucking faces here. So of course, if we're now projecting consciousness across the world, like, Jesus Christ, like what is happening? What's happening? Did you see the letter from Osama bin Laden that like just went viral the last couple of days?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. This was mind blowing. Like, there are all these people who are just like in complete shock. It's nuts. So, right after 9/11, Osama bin Laden literally wrote a letter. It's called A Letter to America. This is fucking like 20 years ago, right? Like, the whole letter is everything that's happening right now. And he's basically just saying, like, stop. And he's calling for peace. I mean, there's like anti-Semitic language in there. Like, he's not a fucking saint. Okay. Like, and nobody is excusing him, to be fair. Nobody's like excusing 9/11 or whatever. But it was shocking to see him hate on America so kind of like justified. Like, he's just like, what are you guys doing? Like, you're killing our people. And
we're the
like,
bullies of the world.
Yeah. And this letter was just hidden. It was nowhere when it like nobody remembers this. And then it was just randomly on the Guardian's website, right? Like, for the last 20 years. So somebody just found this on the Guardian's website. Yesterday, the Guardian took it down. After 20 years of this Osama bin Laden letter just sitting there. Why? It's already out there now. So what the fuck are you taking? It's the only news outlet that's published this, and somebody forgot that it was there or something. I don't fucking know, but why take it down now? Because now it's all over TikTok. Like, it's just like crazy, but it really is. Like, if anybody has not read that letter, I do recommend reading it because it's like jarring. It's jarring. But I'm like also like very conflicted because he's basically saying, like, he's calling essentially for like a very peaceful way of living, although he's also like really pressuring America to just convert to Islam. Like, he's also being very like religious about it in that sense. But he basically was like, you treat your women like shit, but then you like raise women rights. And I'm like, yes. You know, not so I'm like, I'm kind of like, damn, he's like kind of like much more progressive than I
it's critical thinking to be
like,
able to have like to be able to see points of like to be able to be like valid, not valid, valid, not valid.
Yeah.
You know, like that's important discourse.
It is. It's fucking important discourse. It is. But then I get to the parts of his letters where he's like, but you need to condemn all homosexuals. Like, you're letting like that get out of hand. And so all of a sudden I'm like, well, now what do I talk about? Like, what do I think about this now? Like, what? And like, nobody's talking about that part of it on TikTok. So like, that's been really eye-opening for me. But I'm like, oh, but like in the grand scheme of all the problems right now, I shouldn't bring this point up, should I, Ryan? Like, there's so many other bigger problems right now. So like, and I won't. Like, it's not that big of a fucking deal. But like, it's just nuts. It's just fucking nuts. Like, there's so many issues that we were blinded to, and we're like definitely waking up. But it's like, I think like a big thing I'm feeling with this is like, before this, obviously this has been happening for fucking 75, 80 years, right? But like, before this recent phenomenon of it just like sweeping everybody, Americans were already fucking like traumatized. Like, we're already dealing with so many other things. So now to be adding this into the mix and to be then demanding everybody's attention beyond it, and like that you have to like be like asserting certain things and you can't be quiet, and like there are people who are just like dumping their friends because they're like, none of that friend has never posted anything about free Palestine, how can you be silent in this? And I'm like, what
Oh God.
People
You know,
allow
like
people to have a state of shock. You know that shock exists, right? Like that other people could already be in a state of fucking turmoil, like literally ruin. And now you're adding this pressure of this thing across the world that, like, honest to God, they like probably just cannot fucking wrap their brains around right now. Like they probably just can't, and allow them that fucking space. We've got a lot of fucking people talking about this now. You know what I mean? Like Jesus Christ. And you know, like
well,
one thing, like oh
the
no,
ease
go
of
for it.
information, dude. The ease of
I
information
know,
that
but
we can like, whereas when tragedies happened before, we were on the news or like but we didn't have reels, we didn't have TikTok, so we didn't have this access, which that contributes to this overload where people can't get off the ride. But you know, war is never the answer, man. I'm telling you.
no.
And like
Well, and
we got all these white dudes with guns, you know, like I've seen firsthand with friends and my grandfather. I mean, he was a World War II veteran. War, war, war is never the
no, there are fucking like veterans. There's fucking like, I mean, I don't, there are so many perspectives. I'm not going to just sit here and rattle them all off. Like, there's so much fucking do your own research. But like, I am actually really glad you even just said like information overload basically right now, and the access to information. It is like insane because we have all of this at our fingertips, yet such low media literacy where like for I really, really, really I'm thought about this in the last couple of days, ever since that Osama bin Laden letter surfaced, because it's now like ingrained in like I think especially Gen Z's fucking heads. To be honest, I'm sorry, Gen Z listeners. I'm so sorry. I don't mean like this, but it's just that you can't help it. This is not your fault, but it is now just like in your culture to like this letter surfaces. I read it, immediately open TikTok and immediately give my reaction and immediately say everything that I think about it and like start the conversation immediately. And it's like, where is the critical analysis of anything? Because like after like one day after that letter started blowing up, so like yesterday, I started seeing a couple other people coming out and saying like, why the fuck are you guys like glorifying this Osama bin Laden letter? Like it's incredibly anti-Semitic. He literally hates Jews. Like you need to, and it's true. It's like fucking true. It's like I read it and I was just like shocked. I was definitely shocked that like nobody knew about this and like that it was actually that serious. Like that, whatever. But like it's so like you can't just like why the immediate turnaround of our reaction. This should not be something that's normalized. Like this came out of nowhere.
No, you
That is
need
a
to take
TikTok
time.
thing.
You know, like if somebody gives you a surprise puppy, you can immediately make a reaction about that. But you know, like,
True.
but that's also youth, you know, and wisdom will come later. And you know, I think I'm so glad that I didn't have a phone that had a camera. You know, I mean, I always had a little clicky like disposable camera or a digital camera, but like I would have been a menace, you know.
Don't you?
So
I know. No, I agree. I mean, like I was a menace. Like I literally
ditto.
was for damn sure. And like uh
I
I just
sound like
wonder if
I'm worried about your digital footprint. I'm
no, I
worried
know.
about
Well, but we were shamed for the internet. We were taught the internet was bad, and that if we even had like a
Mhm.
Facebook account, jobs are going to look at that, and we won't get hired. No, like we millennials were totally shamed for, and
Yeah.
like kind of like had to have a very specific appearance online, essentially, right? Gen Z does not have that pressure, and they also don't know a life without internet. Like, of course, elder Gen Zs, yes, I know, blah blah blah. You were like too, but like, so I wonder if they really will if this is going to be a thing that they're going to grow out of because they won't have that experience that we had of I'm glad I didn't have a phone with a camera on it. They don't know. So
Well,
they're
and to be able to grow up without the internet. I mean, like I'm
the
so proud.
dream. I want to go
Yeah.
back.
I mean, I remember distinctly when my neighbor got it. I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, and I was like, "What is this?"
Dude, I
Like,
know. I remember the first time my mom had a laptop. I literally was like, whoa, we have a laptop.
yeah,
Oh
before
my
computers, like
God.
we played Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and like solitaire. I was like a wizard at
Oregon Trail. I
solitaire.
love
Yeah.
and the cards that jump on the screen, dude. Yes, I mean, I thought about this too when I was on the fucking cruise. I am like embarrassed to admit like how stressed I allowed myself to be not having like internet access on a goddamn cruise ship. I was like, I'm very aware that I'm like, this is a very first fucking world problem right now, Ryan. But like, ew, that I had hours every day, like taken away because I'm like, fucking internet. Where's the internet? Like, ew, ew. I hate that. Ew.
Well, and
Look
when
at
you
me.
get like when you get so worked up, and then it's like, how do I get off this ride? Like, I
Yeah,
don't know how to get
I
off the
know,
ride.
dude. Well, but then there's also like, well, okay, well, we would not be doing this should this not exist, right? So like obviously
Mhm.
there's the benefits and there's these amazing feats to everything here, but it's crazy, man. It's really fucking crazy. One thing I really want to say also, just before we jump off the Israeli-Palestinian conflict
Mhm.
thing, unless you had anything else to say about it, but is I need to make like a more specific TikTok on it, but like I made a TikTok about this essentially, and I was trying whatever. But one thing that I really love, I'm not gonna hold up the book, then there's no video, is like art, literally. Like I've been like trying to like expose myself to Palestinian art because then that immerses you in the culture. And so
Oh,
like I feel like honestly it's accessible, it humanizes the experience because so much of it is rooted in this, like that is their culture. And it's been happening for an entire lifetime now. So it's really, I think like if you're one of those people who's like, I haven't said anything, but like I feel types of way, but I don't want to say the wrong thing, and like it's confusing, it's hard. I am of the firm fucking belief that if all you can do, and you can do this, is just fucking Google some Palestinian artists, read some poetry, look at their paintings, like dead serious. I've got like a friend who's Palestinian and she's got a poetry book. And so like I've been like rereading that and I'm gonna post some of her poems. And like it's just amazing. Like it's just like really humanized it. And I never like I actually literally edited her poetry book and I now rereading the poems because it's like it has multiple themes, but a part of it is that she has never been there, you know, and so she has this kind of disconnect from that part of her
yeah,
heritage.
from
And
her
I
home.
never absorbed that part of that book, I guess, right? Like, but now I'm like seeing like her pain of not being there and not being connected to it, and like seeing she's all these stories about her grandpa, whatever. But it really fucking humanizes this. So like that is something you can do. And it's not just like purposeless. Like in times of crisis, it is the artists, the creatives, the art that inspires and calls people to action and makes people move. Like it's like the human spirit comes alive. So there is like incredible power in just like digesting art. So go fucking look at Palestinian artwork, please. Support Palestinian
Yeah,
artists.
and don't think so. I just had my final retreat of 2023 this past weekend, which was awesome. Shout out to all the ladies. But one of the concept is that, like we stand, particularly religious folk, but we think that if you don't realize that there's a fucking beast within you, that there's a demon within you, you will be capable of committing absolute atrocities. Most of
Oh
the
yeah.
people like who were Nazis did not think that they were capable of committing. So you need to look in and know that there is a fucking monster that lives within you. And so I think, Jordan Peterson said, which, he's controversial, but it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And so you need to know what you are absolutely
Beautiful.
capable of, because the thing is that because if you don't, that's how you become a fucking monster. And and so I want to be a self-aware monster. So if you are standing on this self-righteous on anything, it doesn't have to, but like if you are standing on this self-righteous post, please don't, because that's how easily it is to be manipulated. I mean, I've got a lot of people who are close to me who really think we're in the end of days, which I'm like, I can't get on that ride. I got things to do. I'm trying to take over the world.
Dude.
So like I'm not getting, like, if Jesus comes and like I don't know, I don't think I believe in the rapture. Like I don't like, but like I don't know. But like I know I have my spirituality. I know I believe in God, spirit, universe, divine. I know I have a purpose. I know that I'm capable of being an absolutely fucking I know I'm capable of committing atrocities and a lot of pain. And I'm just really focusing on being the best version of myself and helping everyone else be the best version and commit what they need to. Because what else are we to do? But if you think that you're better, that you're not capable of, I'm here to tell you, you are absolutely mistaken.
Dude. I'm like so interested that you brought some of this up. I'm so serious. Like there is now I can't remember. I literally just read this like the other day too. I want to say it was Buddha. I heard it from a different source, and I cannot for the life of me think of like who I was listening to, but I think there was like, I think it's like Buddha taught this, and so Buddhists believe that you shouldn't just try and be like a good person, like a good, like goodness alone, just embodying that. There's like obviously duality all around, but it's so perfect, like for that quote you just said, like it's better to be a warrior in a garden, like to be like on guard, and not just like to recognize like that there's a monster in you, but also like there's a monster in everybody. So like if you like,
110%.
yeah,
And that's the thing too, is like being like, like I one time I shared something about Jordan Peterson, and like he's had some controversial comments on, the trans movement, things of that nature. But like it's you don't have to like what everyone stands for, but what, like, even with it, like you haven't made a statement about Palestine yet. You haven't, like it took me back. And this is what really changed my perspective on, and just letting people be people and figure out their path, is when, 2020 happened, and, like Trump, I was an independent. Trump turned me into a staunch Democrat because of all of his nonsense. And then because of all that, like of all, I was demonizing. I live in a red state, y'all. I live in South Carolina. Can you not tell by this voice that I am Southern? Like this, I am a Southern woman. And so I started demonizing people that I know to be amazing, kind, wonderful people, and labeling them. And once again, doing things that I never thought I would do. And so, you can take so even like the Osama bin Laden letter, take the valid points. You don't have to get on board. Like it's this uniform conformity. I'm not here to conform. I'm here to buck the system and fuck the system. So this uniform conformity, it's okay to think different. It's okay to be different. Recognize the, take what you need, leave what you don't. Recognize the beauty within people. But this get on board or else, like vegetarians too. When I left vegetarianism, that was really one of the most terrifying. I'm not even joking. Vegetarians at that point, when I left, you would have thought that I like literally ate your child. I was like, God. I'm just really wanting a chicken breast. I'm just trying, like, and by the way, now all my friends who have been long-term vegans, their fucking health is shot. Okay.
Very easy to be unhealthy on that. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Crazy. Your B12s are fucking, there's no way.
Yeah.
Why? It's so easy to judge, man. Just so
it is. It feels like a little bit of like a spin-off of the cancel culture. Like cancel culture just like has like now just whatever. It's interesting you say that too, because like also you're just setting yourself up for a huge letdown if you're going to put anybody to hold anybody to such a imperfect, like a perfect standard. Like there's no such thing. You can't expect that from anybody. And also, to go back to your word, what a fucking hypocrite you are to ever put somebody up like that, because you're not fucking perfect. No. You will never, nobody is, not you specifically, Megan.
Yeah.
I just mean, like, if you're like, it's like anybody who's expecting that of these people, it's like you're fucking up every damn day. Every day there's a situation that you could be stepping up more in and doing better at. Like, come on, do not hold anybody else to a standard that you're not meeting yourself.
And this level of like this standard that we are holding everyone to, what's fucked up is like people are now afraid to like express themselves or speak their truth. So I get celebrated in these weird ways because I just don't give a fuck. And I just go about my life posting, like I'm 38, I'm going to be 39. What in God's name made me think I could be a fitness model? Boom. Watch me, watch this, watch that, like I don't care. And so I get judged very harshly in some aspects. But these are I'm getting judged because what are you not feeling you're able to express? And then I inspire others. But then then some of them are like, well, I'm too nervous. Like I don't want to be judged. You are getting judged every day for everything you do, regardless. So you might as well get judged for who you are and what you want to be. So this whole brain mentality of you got to think the same thing, you got to be the same thing, we're divided. It stems. So you're not allowing the fullest expression of yourself, the fullest creation of yourself. And you're doing yourself a disservice, because God, can you imagine when you die and you go through your life review and you think about, and you have regrets because you didn't have the kahunas, you didn't have the courage, just not even to do anything necessarily tremendous, but just to be your authentic self, which I take that back. That is tremendous. That is the most brave act, to be authentically yourself.
I agree. I feel like that's so true.
This is just fucked. Like, get like be what you want to. Mary Dell, who's my best. She's a rock climber now, bud. She's out here. I'm not even joking. When I first met her, she's out here climbing rocks like that. I mean, like, and good too. I've got people. It's just cool to see, like, people get outside their comfort zone. It's like, do it.
Yes, live and let live. That was such a like Matthew Shepard taught rule. Well, parents, I think, or no, that was like a person in this town, whatever. But it's just true. Like we need to like allow diversity and of life to flourish. I'm dead serious. We can like, I was gonna, because a lot of this is relating to like the topic that I was gonna bring up. Well, I was gonna definitely bring up the war stuff, honestly. But I feel like there's a whole episode in this other topic, but like to briefly touch on it, just the like nihilism movement that is happening right now. Like I'm definitely seeing like a lot of like people talking about it, but like it's just happening. Like where and I think it's like a ramification of so much of this, like the people who feel like they can't say anything now and they don't want to say the wrong thing, like they're just getting shut down. And then there's like this astrologer I love, Stephen Forrest, kind of explains like basically like the nihilistic point of view, like when it's becoming like a problem is when your response to things is why bother, because then you just start disintegrating the self and like you completely disassociate prevalent. And lose the self. It is, and it's like I definitely don't.
What do you want me to do about it? What can I do?
Yeah,
I hear that and I'm like, do you not like, it just takes one person to make a difference. And like, and you never know the trickle effect of what so it's like, well, what do you expect me to do? And it's like, I mean, I expect you to try. That's what I expect. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I expect you not to have that sort of piss poor attitude. That's just contagious. Get the fuck. If that's how you believe, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I'm really, really interested in this. Like,
I think we should do a whole episode on that.
No, I really want to, like, because I think there's like tons of a bunch I have to say about it that I won't get into, but like I know there's like way more probably that I could just like deep dive on. And then we can just do an episode, but it's important, and like it's at a like very basic level, it is the like kind of like roll your eyes conversation of like light and dark, like nihilism has its importance, like, and everybody goes into those spaces of like everything's meaningless, right? And like what is the point, why bother? But it's through the experience of those spaces that then you come out of it and find a sense of purpose again. Something lights you back up at some point, and there's like so many ways, like the same why bother author Stephen Forrest kind of put it in a cool way once. I might be misremembering this a little bit, but he was talking about how like imagine that your life falls apart, you have to go bankrupt, you like get a divorce, and like your life for like all years just like turmoil, like there's like you lose everything, right? And you're in your final fucking like court hearing, and now okay, the judge grants your bankruptcy and you've lost your wife and all this shit, and you like wander out of the courtroom and you're like, what the fuck is the point of anything? I've literally lost it all, right? And he's like, or what if you walk out of that courtroom and you say, wait, those were the dark days, like that was the hell, that was the nihilism, right? And now there's a new lease on fucking life, like now I'm not in that hell any fucking more, it's done, it's behind you, so like there are a lot of those times where like, yeah, you might like nothing can be better than the something that you had sometimes, you know what I mean? And that is like, I think, a really interesting thing that I'm thinking about now, and like just seeing a lot of other, like, honestly, again, Gen Z kids, and I think it's their Pluto and Sagittarius. I won't go fully into it right now, but like the need to like experience that level of like meaninglessness, like being on a search for purpose.
I can't, like, the thing is that to me, it's like when I feel like I don't have a purpose or there's no meaning, like, and it's like, okay, I know, like you said, you have to go through it, but like, no, life has meaning, like, and life is amazing, and it's, like, and God, it's so hard, but the opportunities, like, and no, No, like, you're here for a reason. I really do believe that everyone is here for an amazing reason, and you might not see it, but you are. And God, but don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't identify that life is meaningless. Then leave.
Well,
What does
yeah.
that mean? What do you mean? Or do you, because are you good to, so then leave? Okay, what do I mean? Well, I don't know. If life is meaningless and you're just like wasting resources and air, you tell me. Like, let's get down to it. Like, what are you talking about? This is a gift. There are people who would die, who are dying, who would do anything for your privilege. For that, that's bullshit. Life
Yeah.
is meaningless. Like,
Yeah.
and if you're depressed, it's one thing. I will say though, a lot of depressed people right now have been doing a really cool thing naturally. I've noticed, like, my clients and my friends, where they're like, I'm just going to go do something really good for someone else and hope that I can feel.
Yeah.
And there's that it's little sparks.
Yeah.
And it's just
Mhm.
those little sparks.
Yeah.
So
Which I think that it is the, like, nihilism literally is the pursuit of numbness, frankly. Like, in
the
many
pursuit
ways.
of numbness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's like,
don't know.
it's like a really big thing.
That's
Well,
violence
I
in
don't
my
think
soul.
there's like a total
Pursuit of
conscious
numbness.
thing happening there, but that is what's happening. It's a like, yeah. But once that's happened for long enough, like,
I don't think
honestly,
so.
unfortunately, you like
Ew.
can kill yourself or run into ruin of like addiction and all that stuff. That's when the like really self-destructive behaviors start. But like, or you just like exist in that space for long enough and then something comes and changes it. It will change. Like,
Well, life has a way of moving the needle, whether you like it or not. But that's the thing I tell all my people: like, don't you want to be part of the part of moving that needle? Because life is going to move you. But it's just like, it's such a gift. God, it's so
it
hard. I
is.
know it's so hard, but it's
Yeah.
such a gift to be here. It's a like, it's an honor that I get to train under this wild man, Coach Michael at Hurricane Boxing, and I get to learn this craft. Like, that's an opera. That's an on. All of, like, life is an honor. You, like, God, and the fact that it just makes me so sad that people can't see that, or they choose not to. I don't. I mean, if you're depressed, but if you choose not to, if you're choosing this, fuck off.
Dude, I know. Well, and I think in many ways, I think that there's like a bit of a misguided component
Well, they're young.
to it too, because there's definitely the young element, but it's also like, this is gonna sound so harsh, and I just don't mean it like this way, but it's sort of like, if I really think like a serious, like, true, I guess, like, diehard nihilist. I mean, they wouldn't be diehard about anything because they wouldn't find the meaning in being so diehard about anything. But like, they wouldn't be existing anymore if there was really that true level of meaninglessness. If you are still here, living, breathing, there's something in you that's keeping you going. For what reason? You're still searching for it, which means you are not really nihilistic, right? And I really, really thought about this. I think it was yesterday. I saw this chick who I actually really, really like on TikTok. I'll maybe mention her like later and when we do an episode on this, but I thought it was so fascinating. She hits record and starts like, she's like potting these little plants, and they're in these little cute little like Pokemon potters or whatever, and she's like giddy about it, and she's like, one thing about me is like, I'm definitely gonna like always be like tending to my inner child. And she's like, so anyway, I gotta like pot these plants, but I just want to talk about something. And she starts talking about like essentially being a nihilist, right? And like how she's not I mean, more, she's saying like she's not spiritual. She used to like put emphasis on like wanting to be a spiritual person or trying to find spirituality and things. And she's like, I'm not a spiritual person. I just don't like have spirituality in my life. I don't think there's a need for that or a purpose for it. And I'm like, you are so intentionally, beautifully potting these plants and tending to your inner child while you're sitting here trying to tell me that you don't have spirituality in your life. Look at how spiritual you are right now. Like, it was like the most mind-blowing thing to watch her, because I'm like, you are like you're radiating spirituality. Like, look at you growing, you're tending to life in front of my face. Like, what are you talking about? You're not spiritual.
Saying inner child. Like,
yeah, you're saying what?
Where did you think that term came from? There was one time that this guy I know, I was going to this weird meditation only. It was a weird place in downtown. It doesn't exist anymore. It kind of felt like it was like a sex cult. I was like, I attended one time and was like, I won't be going behind those doors. Thank you. But he was like, yeah, I'm an atheist and I don't really believe in what you believe. I was like, no worries, man. And he was like, but I'm all about opening up that third eye. And then I was like, oh, okay. So like, do you know what the third eye is? He was like, I know all about it. And I was like, okay, so your your 3 upper chakras, what they do, they're connecting to universe spirit. And he was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, you see where I'm going with these questions? He was like, I do. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna engage in this flowery language with you anymore, this lovely little back and forth dance. Sure. And then I was like, yo, don't come. It's a sex cult. They're trying to get us nude in the back.
Yeah.
There's so going on. But I didn't see anyone I just like, when there's a weird vibe going on and you're like, And this is not a crowd that I'm trying to, y'all.
Don't go behind the beaded curtain. Don't go.
It's like these huge, like very exotic marble doors. I was like, where am I? Like, how did I get here?
Well,
but anyway,
they found their purpose. Okay.
Yeah. And then that place immediately disappeared. Like a month later, I was like, oh, okay.
That's weird.
Maybe there'd be a Netflix documentary coming out about that soon.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, I'm glad we got to catch up.
Dude, me too. Like so stoked about it.
I know. And I hope all you darling listeners listened. And hey, listen, as we touch on things that are controversial and, we said it in the opening, we're not always going to get it right. You might not agree with our stance. You might not agree with our opinions. That's okay. We encourage critical thinking and discourse and discussion. But, like if you've heard anything that got your panties in a bunch or your balls bundled, then what you need to do is take a minute, like examine that. Why was your inner gremlin triggered before you start, go ahead and rage comment because that's going to help the algorithm. But just know that, like we encourage differences and what we don't encourage is hatred, and prejudice. So,
yeah. And there's an intention of learning and expanding awareness about this stuff. So, so that's why we have this platform. That's why we're talking about it. And life is hard and it's amazing. And I hope that you find meaning. And it makes me sad that people are just out here choosing. I don't even want to say it because your brain's always listening. But like, oh, Barbara chooses to have a meaningless life. I know. Yeah, I know. But in many ways, I don't know that people are choosing it. Like at least some of them coming into adulthood right now, right? Like they're just circumstances that are hard. They don't know what. Yeah,
but it's like, are you existing or are you thriving? Because you can thrive in bullshit. The tough spots are where you don't learn great things about yourself. And like happy times are a reward for really like mulling through the shit, and I mean, gosh.
No, it's true. I think I need to find that source that was basically like, it's not good to be just a good person. I think it's a Buddhist source. I need to look it up though.
It's not, and also like, what is that? To me, that's like, when people are like, oh, she's so nice. I'm like, no, I'm not nice. Nice is an adjective. That's why like Mr. Nice Guy, it's a negative connotation with it because nice is a manipulation tactic. So good is just like, oh, I'm a good person. What does that mean? I'm a kind person, but I'm going to tell you when you're fucking up. Like, I don't, I'm a kind person, but I'm not a nice person. I'm kind. So that's what would the like, oh, you're a good person. What is the
I get it. Like I try to be a good person or something. Like I think you just mean something else, like because if it's just not real. It's just not real. We all have these like the little monster within, right? Like you said,
you are capable of fucking terrible things, and you're also capable of amazing things. Oh,
this
Lord.
is why we do what we do. I'm dead serious. It's preparedness. Like I always tell my clients that with astrology. Like I'm not trying to freak you out. I never want to incite fear, right, with astrology, but like to know that something could potentially come. It's the protecting the self against like potential worst case scenarios or whatever. You are like, doing the same thing with your people. Like you're absolutely kind of like instilling armor in them.
To be forewarned is to be forearmed.
Yeah. Okay. This has been fun.
Yeah. We love you.
Love you very much. Hang in there, Betty.
Yeah, you got it. Till next time.
Till next time.
Doo-doo.